What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Checkmate World Record, talking about rivals for surface, aspect of Possessed Array, the aspect of Melinoe, Jewel Pawn Keepsake. Getting into it here, we've got Frenzy on, all four rivals, Timer 3 for fun, Cinerary Circle, doesn't really matter from our Hades boon, we are going to click Blinding Rush. Absolutely amazing sprint, love to see that it's purple. Special, not really wanting to take that first, would like to get into the curse so we can get origination, and also Blinding Rush is just great. The faster you sprint, the better it is for speedruns. As we get into Fira here, right in time to see that we have a Hammer in a good combat room. We've got Hermes, Selene, of course we have Hera, which is like best in slot gain. We also want her attack at some point, so really don't hate to see this god rotation here. Also don't hate to see Heracles showing up in room 1. This is a fantastic start. And of course, when you are resetting for world records, any sort of high tier speedrunning, it is important to get your build online as soon as possible, and also to know if you are not going to see it in the first region, which in this case would have been an instant reset. But you're watching the vid, I'm reacting to it, so I'm just going to assume that we're hitting Possessed Array right here as we open Hammer reward, and yes we do. You would not be here if we didn't hit it. I would not be here if we didn't hit it. Thank you for the money, Heracles, and then click through some dialogue. This gives us a nice start in terms of the gold foundation. Hopefully see some good boons in shop, and of course throughout the run as we get into more bat checking. Let's see where we want to go. I think Hera makes a lot of sense. You can either hit, of course, Morning Gain, which is the best overall game, in my opinion, when you are playing surface rivals. It just stacks so well with all the magic you get throughout the run, because surface is just loaded with opportunities to get magic from, just Fira being a thing, that 50 magic door. Sorry, I think it's more than that, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's 60 magic from that door. And then you can hit things like Traces of Spirit from Medea. You can also hit way more magic from Hermes Shrines into Pitch Attack, which is great. I think Born Gain would have been the click there. Maybe not. Maybe just getting Hera into the God Pool. We take it. Regardless, here we already have Daze. We don't want Lucid Gain. I mean, Lucid Gain with Winner Circle can keep up with Possessed Array, but overall it's not necessarily the best synergy. I mean, having to rely on Hermes, which we're going to take now ironically, is really just not ideal. So Born Gain it is. Grizzly Gain, I think you guys saw Ares here, probably would not have been a great option either, so we'll just leave the gain free and take Hera later. We are here getting Travel Deal, which is a huge power boost. We're equating that to, 3 to 4 boons extra over the course of a run, assuming we have gold, which we should. We are taking strictly good combat rooms here. I know people who have not watched speedruns might ask, why are we taking Selene? She's not very strong, not very useful, also doesn't work with Possessed Array because you're not actually using magic, you're losing it using the keywords written. Here we're just taking whatever. Night Bloom is nice, it's extra damage. I think it's a little bit of a time loss. Twilight Curse is just kind of goofy, so no need to really take that. We are very happy with this build right here. We've got Medea. Let's see what she gives us. We are hitting Suffering on Sight, which is whatever. I mean, it's okay, I guess. A lot of enemies are armored. We're not really going to be getting a ton of benefit from it, especially as we have a great build online already. Thank you, Apollo. We'll be able to afford both boons here. Extra dose is really nice. That is a lot of damage. Do we hit it? Yes, we do. Wow. Very nice seeing Hera there, along with Born Gain. The extra Palm Slice would have been fine, I guess, but you may as well keep the gold for guaranteed at least 2 boons, especially anything that comes from Hermes Shrine. I might be able to buy a couple of extra things here, as I'm not even commentating the Polyphemus fight, but you guys know how this goes. It is simply Possessed Array and win, and that is what happens. With a 1:12 entrance, I believe, 14-second poly fight. Could have for sure been a little bit faster. We didn't necessarily hit giga damage stuff, but we're into the build. We're hitting exactly what we need. Thank you for the magic there. As I mentioned, we are getting all the extra goodies thanks to Travel Deal, and that is going to be a mystery boon. We have a decent god pool right now with just Hera and Apollo, which I think are universally just the 2 best gods for running a Possessed Array setup, like, you could maybe argue that Cardio Gain is really nice to have, but I think Born Gain, just not having to worry about not being able to afford PRA and just being able to get straight into it as much as you possibly can, that is super ideal. And we hit Backburner. Okay, now we've got like the giga damage that we need. Backburner is pretty much, when it's active, is going to just obliterate a lot of enemies, especially a couple of the bosses that we're fighting here, namely Eris as well as Heroes. Backburner infamously does not really work on Typhon, but it is nice to see that. These rooms are going to be pretty chill, just typical surface speedruns. We are going through this, just picking up rewards when we can. Hopefully we see a timer freeze here, although this Thessaly isn't terrible. The enemies haven't been the worst things ever, which is always nice. Make sure to pause buffer there so we can see where the enemies are. These like super caskets are also extremely annoying. But we love to see Hera. We see Fine Line, which is just an insane power boost as we hit mid-shop. Every great speedrun has some awesome Thessaly rooms, and this is just a great example. Seeing mid-shop on the Thessaly boats could not be me, but that's why I'm commentating and not playing the game. We like the weak take there. Aphrodite cast, especially with the palm levels from J-Palm, is great. Hitting a fountain room. Love seeing a reward on the screen. Artificer into more magic, I believe. Yeah, I think that it was more magic. And for those of you who don't know, when you see a reward on a door that isn't associated with like a mini boss, that is guaranteed to be fountain, because most Thessaly doors have a little arrow in front of them. So if you are seeing a reward on it and it is not a mini boss, that is guaranteed fountain. Family Dispute will also show up, but Family Dispute cannot show up in the fountain room. As we take this mystery boon, we get Hef, which is kind of whatever. I mean, not the greatest thing, but you do love to see Trusty Shield. Heavy Metal is okay, but I believe Possessed Array and Fine Line, definitely Fine Line, do not work with the Heavy Metal interaction, so may as well take the safety. Damage is solved from the run, and we hit Exceptional Talent in Thessaly. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Checkmate. What a run. Eat your heart out. That is truly insane. And of course it does. Like, it just works. Exceptional Talent just works with Possessed Array, because why wouldn't it? It was already the best hammer, so of course it works with by far the best legendary. So that is pretty much the run solved. Like, this is the run one, guaranteed. Like, this is going to be like a giga time, and if it's not, there's truly an Olympus of all time following us as we completely delete Eris. She's a huge time waster in the Rivals phase, which is rather unfortunate, but what can you do? That was a pretty good Thessaly, less than a minute and a half. I think in terms of like godly skips and godly Thessalys, maybe the only other great thing that we could have got, as Checkmate is dealing with some stick drift here, but fixing it before we get into the big Giga Olympus. Surely this is a Giga Olympus, right? Unfortunately, we do lose J-Palm here, but on a run that has this pace, we may as well guarantee ourselves Athena, timer freeze, just stack the magic. As I mentioned, it is very optimal to just keep doing this. Olympus, Fig, room 1. That encounter can be kind of long. I think that room was probably going to be fine, but always nice to see Fig kick off your Olympus. And we are into Athena. This is crazy, by the way. These, oh my goodness. And we've got Wide Grin, which, if you don't know, Wide Grin will actually give you all of the bonuses of your skulls because it empties out all of them, which is just an insane damage boost. And of course, like the shotgun playstyle, retrieving your skulls, you are essentially, look at this, like the auto watchers like exist for a frame on the screen and then get vaporized. Like, Checkmate is basically like Thanos snapping pretty much everything as we hit another Hera boon. We have got Headbane, which is an unbelievable hit, especially for Heroes, because Heroes is not a fun fight and is already a time waster. So having Headbane and Hitch is just great as we hit all together. So we got double legendary. We have got some safety from Hef. We have got 205 magic. We are watching like fine lines just going all over the place thanks to Wide Grin. These rooms are like barely appearing on my screen, I swear. And we hit Fountain. Really smart from Checkmate as an experienced surface runner here to take the indoor room to give himself a chance of hitting that fountain, and of course we do. The only crazier thing would be seeing Icarus to like freeze the timer, but I don't think that's happening. I think we're past the point we can see Dio. I'm not too familiar with like the exact skip logic or like what's allowed when it comes to some of like the room skips and what can show, but either way, this is looking excellent. We are on pace for a 6-minute-ish whatever run. This surface world record is just unbelievable in terms of the Rival 4. Anyway, like this would be a great any fear run, honestly. Like for me, I would feel fantastic about this any fear run. Checkmate pausing here just to kind of survey his surroundings, kind of realize the run that he's on, maybe do a little deep breathing, no pressure sort of thing. Again, going into indoor rooms tends to be a little bit faster. I think the outdoor rooms are usually bigger tiles, although this tile is freaking terrible. But the outdoor tiles have a way higher chance of being terrible for a couple of reasons. You know, bigger tile, you always have Atos spawning when you don't want them as we get into the end shop here. So crazy Olympus, by the way. Again, here we're fixing stick drift, just making sure we are ready, locked and loaded as we can afford both boons. The travel deal situation here is great. Take heavy metal again because it was offered, so we've got a lot of safety. We have got, I don't really know what we want to take here. I guess Winter Circle is fine. You know, ironically, we hit Winter Circle and Lucid Gain would have been fine, but yeah, Board Gain is still better in this situation. So we're here. We've got Hereditary Bane, taking a little bit of damage. Oh my, instantly phased. You know, a lot of people are like, whatever, like, don't worry about Heracles. Like, don't kill him until Prom is taken care of. But my goodness, what an absolute freak of a build. Like, this is literally what people talk about when they say, like, Exodia build, as Checkmate is just chilling during the memory game. Probably, like, locking in, being like, I think this is fine. No, at this point, honestly, I would be so nervous. Oh my goodness, wait. Well, there goes heavy metal. Not that it was doing much for us, but hey, we wanted to keep that extra armor potentially. Wow, Prometheus, see you later, Benstar. Cease to exist. We have got hopefully like a 30-second summit into a really quick Typhon. Of course, Babality, which is the little Mal phase for those of you who call it that. That takes a good chunk of time compared to the normal Typhon fight. And of course, the Chronos part where you think you're getting Zeus and then Chronos shows up. Wow, we even hit armor there. That's fantastic. What an unbelievable situation as we head into Summit. Are we going to get a Room 1 Fig proc, which is definitely the best to get on Summit. It is the longest chamber, which is interesting. Like a lot of chambers, well, regions and chambers, we don't get the C1 Fig, but a lot of biomes will have their chambers like get progressively deeper in terms of enemy scaling, but it is funny that Summit always has like the most enemies, so its strongest room density or difficulty right at the start. Plus 3 palms, we can see spawn of Typhon. I think twins would have been a little bit better, not that it really matters. This was literally like a 4-second fight instead of a 2-second fight. Oh my gosh. The fine lines, the Rapture Ring, the exceptional talent. Oh my, and he hit the triple palm on the Hera attack, which was really the only like quote-unquote lackluster build. We did get Fig Scammed here, which is actually kind of crazy. Not that it really would have done anything. Maybe we take Aphrodite here. Yeah, maybe we take like Secret Crush. I don't know if we want to prime. Huge hit with the Eye of Typhon here. This is, this is so insane. I literally have no idea what I'm watching. This literally looks like you turned God mode on. I mean, Possessed Array and this, it's actually so crazy. I don't even know what we took there. I don't think it matters. Fix the stick drift before Typhon, lock in, lean forward, take the double palms here. I think that's got to be the play, and we're hitting Born Gain. It's got to be Born Gain just to make sure we have enough for multiple primes, because there are certain breakpoints, especially if your build has this much magic. Just reducing how much magic you have to prime away, so I think it was 16 down to 14, like that can really make a huge difference. Maybe I'll spend this fight calculating that. in all seriousness, we know this build wins. We have already phased him. He didn't even get a chance to do the like tongue slam where people usually dodge at the bottom or the bottom right of the screen. Eating a lover's charge there because it literally does not matter what Typhon does. Kronos, you can try. You can try Kronos here, but you are not getting anything. We have pretty much just deleted the entire boss phase. Wow, that would have been sketch if he had gotten hit. Imagine. That would have been crazy. Very, very nice save there, and that is why we fixed the stick drift as Checkmate is completely demolished Typhon. There were not even attacks that were happening. I think he dodged like 2 of them. Still have 1 lover's charge, not that it matters. We are into Little Mel. Let us see how we deal with Babality. This is pretty much going to be the longest encounter in the entire run. Why? Because we don't have access to our weapon. That is pretty much it. So just flex on him, Checkmate. Let us see what we got. Kronos has not spawned yet with the orbitals, although here they are. Dodging this. Very nice. And of course we clicked Antler. I mean, was that ever a question? It's always Antler. Oops, we did eat our last lover's charge. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. It would have been clean if we had gotten through that hit list, but hey, Checkmate is a dog. This was an unbelievable run. 6-13 with the build of all builds. As we take Gygaros, destroy Typhon, eradicate him off the face of the earth. We have also eradicated balance off the face of the earth. Seriously. You look at this and you're like, is this aspect really balanced with this hammer? Yes? No? Maybe so? I love how both legendaries were just instantly on the screen. Like, we got water fitness, which wasn't great. Like, what other infusion boons did we get? I think we got one of the ones. Oh yeah, we got Rallying Cry, which is whatever. Honestly, kind of got screwed here. It could have even been better. Like, we could have had Slow Cooker, which would have been just even more insane. Not that I think we needed the damage, but my goodness, look at that. Crazy Omega attack damage. Like, was there anything even remotely close to it? Wow. GG's, Checkmate. What an absolutely unbelievable run. Surface world record 613.16. Aspect of Melinoe, possessed array, double Lego carrying. Jokes aside, what an amazing run by one of the preeminent Mel Skulls players. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Shall we go again, Freenos? Perhaps we're dealing with infinite possibilities.